How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Crypto's falling a bit right now, with Bitcoin under 42,000 right now. It had been stuck between 42.5 and 43.5 for a while. People are getting a little bit more bullish, and we've gotten good ETF numbers, but yet crypto's falling. I wanted to explain why that is, why that's happening right now, and what you should be paying attention to. Now, if you want to see future videos just like this one, hit subscribe. Hit the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos as soon as they come out. While you're down there, there's a link to Margex where you can trade cryptocurrency on leverage. If you're interested, you can set it up in just a few minutes and make a deposit very quickly and start trading. They have a lot of different assets, and you do get a deposit bonus to go towards some fees as well. There's also a link down there to HGAccess where we are giving information you can't get anywhere else. This is about 10 different influencers that jump in, give alpha, talk about what they're hearing behind the scenes from different projects and what they're doing, how much are they going to advertise, all that kind of important information that you don't have access to as just a retail investor, but we can give you some of that information there. So there's a link to that underneath the video as well. Now, I will say, I'm a little bit tired. The dog woke me up early, been grinding all day with phone calls, with potential opportunities for us on the channel, for me. So I look back at the market and Bitcoin's down a little bit. It fell a little bit faster than we usually see. And I knew exactly what was happening right when it happened. If you look here at the, let's go back over to Margex. The cool thing about Margex too is we have the TradingView that is powering it. You can see here, big red candle, then big red candle, big red candle. I bet you if we even go down to the 5 minute or so, yeah, it looks just like liquidations, right? It starts slow, and then boom, it keeps on going faster and faster until it hits a bottom, and then comes back up and then goes down again. This is what's happening. We're seeing liquidations. We're seeing the market flush out some longs. This is very natural. And while we are seeing BlackRock buying a bunch of Bitcoin, they have 25,000 Bitcoin after just a few days of trading. We are still seeing GBTC selling a bunch of Bitcoin. So the ETFs aren't necessarily pushing up the price of Bitcoin right now. We're just kind of at this awkward stage where we got something approved, but then we have months until the halving. We are seeing liquidations though. Over the last 24 hours, $167 million worth of liquidations. Over the last 4 hours, we've had $94 million worth of longs liquidated. So most of that is Bitcoin, but there are a lot of others that are getting liquidated as well. I mean, you can see Ethereum, 28 million. That's a lot. Solana, 10.3 million. So it's sending down the price quickly. Whenever we get over leveraged in the market, whales like to sell, cause liquidations, and then they can buy back at lower prices. If you don't know how all that works, let me know in the comments. I'll talk more about it. Now, the reason I talk about Margex still when the market is going through liquidations is because it's a tool, right? If you use it poorly, you can be one of those people that gets liquidated like this. Like it's very possible. You can see here though, I don't have much open. I have one position open that's actually for someone else, a family member that wanted me to set this up, but I took a good amount of profits. I largely took profits last week when we got that ETF approval. I talked about my Patreon. Some people were even asking like, hey, why are you taking profits when the market's going up? And it was because we were moving up. We had a massive catalyst, obviously, with the ETF approval. I thought, okay, I'm going to bank some profits. Some were short-term profits that I had for a couple hours and we ran up and I took profits. Some I had positions open for a couple weeks. And even after I did that, right, I'm not perfect. Some of those positions I closed in the $45,000, $46,000 range. Then we moved up to 48. I thought, man, that would have been nice to have those positions open. But since then, we've fallen, right? So I have been just sitting here, not really trading as much recently just because of how the market was acting. Like I like to trade when we are moving up. I know it sounds crazy, or when we have a bottom that we've hit a couple times. Honestly, what we're hitting right now is kind of interesting to me, like, because this is where we hit just a few days ago. This might be a spot where I put in a long. And I fully realize that there's some danger in that. I could be the next liquidation wick. A lot of people are talking about 39.6 being another huge level to be paying attention to. You can see here, Marty Party says, Binance flush continues new liquidation levels as traders long. Full capitulation must happen for the pre-halving pullback to be over. Follow the arrows as new low targets appear. In my opinion, the exchanges will try and force these traders to close, add margin, or get liquidated. Eventually, longs will give up. This is the capitulation. That is the bottom. A lot of people calling for 39.6. Some people calling for 32. It's impossible to know what that bottom will be. I will say, though, if you got in just over the last couple weeks, you might be down or sideways. Chances are, if you got in over the last couple weeks for the first time, you are down a little bit because there isn't much time where we were above the level that we are right now or below the level that we are right now. Just zoom out. Zoom out. For the last year and a couple months, we've been just up. Of course, there have been corrections, but it's been up, 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 up. And we haven't seen a correction in a while. If you go back to October, September, we had no corrections. We moved down maybe 5% at certain times, maybe 10%. Now we're seeing a 15, 20% pullback. I think this is natural. This has to happen. We can't be up only. That never happens. There's always going to be people that are flushed out of the market. They're on leverage. As I've said before, most of my bag is long-term holding, and then I do leverage trade a bit. But most, every single cycle will have pullbacks of 10%, 15, 20, 30%. This is natural. Now, I would be paying attention to the level we're at right now because we have held it a little bit and we've held it in the past. But then I'd also be looking at this $40,000 range. Of course, we could see some more liquidations to go under 40,000, but this is where we held up in the past. We were at 40,130 on some wicks. I'd be paying attention to this. This is also a key level. I don't think, if you want to get a little bit more conspiratorial, I don't think that the ETF issuers really want Bitcoin to fall down a lot. Like, they've started to get people interested in Bitcoin. They've started to push Bitcoin. They don't want that bad look where Bitcoin falls 30, 40, 50% right after they start talking about it and give a sour taste to the new investors. They want Bitcoin to go up after they talk about it and start promoting it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try to advertise maybe a little bit more. And whether you call that manipulation or not, it's just manipulating how they want to spend their money, how they're going to try to get a return. So they might just push more ad dollars at Bitcoin if it looks like it's bearish or it looks like it's a good opportunity to buy in, because then they can't show like, hey, our funds performed better than XYZ, right? Like, buy Bitcoin funds. That's what they could say in the future if it does well. So they'll also make more fees as well if Bitcoin's price goes up. So I would not be surprised if we saw some more liquidations. I would not be surprised if we moved back up and this was just like a little flush and then we moved right back into this $43,000 range, $44,000. I would not be surprised if we are much higher than we are right now a couple months down the line. But I'm okay if we fall down like this. It's fine because it's just a better time to buy then. Like, we did make some massive moves. Keep that in mind. We did make massive moves. We went up 100% in a couple months, basically, from 25,000 to 49,000. On Bitcoin, a lot of alts up even more than that. So it's natural to see a pullback, some flushing out of leverage. Bitcoin is also still on a great track with the ETFs approved. Bitcoin becomes the second largest ETF commodity in the US, surpassing silver. So keep long-term focused. A small little move like this should not throw you off. Just zoom out. If you're someone that aped in over the last month or so, just zoom out. This is a good time to be buying. It's as easy as that. This is a good time to be buying typically, and you want to stay interested, you want to stay educated, you want to stay invested in this space. Thank you so much for watching. I do have a favor to ask. I am talking with an individual, another YouTuber, who owns a crypto tax service. Basically, a lot of traders might pay attention to what they're trading. Some don't report anything. Some do report what they buy or sell, but a lot of them don't record like transaction fees. And a lot of the time, you can actually lose a lot of money throughout the year to transaction fees. I mean, think about some of the Ethereum fees, $100, $50. So a lot of people will actually over-report. If they do report, they'll over-report what they made because they don't take into account all the fees. So this company goes and looks through all your wallets, combs through every transaction, and will tell you what you actually made after all fees. They can actually save you money. I'm talking with the owner of it, becoming a possible partner with them. I want to gauge interest though. If you could just let me know, like, is that something you'd be interested in? Just write the word tax in the comment section. I appreciate it. I just want to get a general interest. There are better ways to do this, but this is just something that I just talked to someone about. So let me know if you're interested in that. Just type tax in the comment section. Thank you so much. Check out Margex underneath the video and HGAccess as well. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.